Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we're going to be taking this file and turning it to a knife. It's a hard project. Or not really. So we're going to take this old file, we're going to forge it into kind of a farming / camp knife. Something really cool, small, and compact. So first we're going to start by taking it and putting in a curve so when we bevel it, it doesn't bend the opposite direction. I don't usually do this with a lot of my blades. I usually just bevel it, but then it sort of turns out looking like a banana, which then you just got to forge that out. So this is definitely the shorter way of doing it. Now the cuts and everything in this video may look a little bit different, and the editing's probably not the greatest because I've switched over all my equipment from mobile to a computer, and in my next video I'm going to be using an actual camera and a lot of other cool stuff. So if it is a little bit off, don't blame me. We're going to quench this blade. This was not the first quench. We got hardened to about 63 HRC. I got it roughed out right here. We're going to get ready to do a small rough grind and then temper it. We'll just grind it to 100 grit. Just rough it in so we can see the colors when we temper it. After rough grinding it to 100 grit, we put it in the oven for 2 cycles at 350 degrees for 2 hours. But when I did it, there was a small issue. I've heard about this before, but I thought I'll just screw it and try it anyway. What I did is I didn't check the actual temperature of the oven. I just went by the instructions that were on it instead of putting actual oven thermometers. And after checking the temperature, I found that there was an 80-degree difference between the front and the back, which over-tempered our blade, lowering the HRC to about 55, which was very disappointing. Still functional, but extremely weak. This wood is incubator wood. Now, you probably never heard of it. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's what it was from, an old incubator. It smells terrible. Looks cool, though. Get it roughed out, hand sanded, do 100 grit, and then we'll do the glue up. This is the 4th handle I've made. The first 2 I didn't like just because the colors were not quite right, and it was really chalky and it broke super easy. I don't know what was up with that. So I used these inside pieces of the incubator and they work a lot better. The colors are way better. It's just much harder and not as brittle. I'll sand the top of this handle to 600 grit since we're not going to be able to hand sand it after the glue up. Alright, the glue up. 5-minute epoxy. My favorite time. This is one of the messiest glue ups I've had. The messiest being the sword build. That was disastrous, but this was pretty messy too. I'm also going to be using loveless bolts, which is something I've never used before on a knife. But I thought I'd give it a try just because it looked a lot tougher and more durable than just peen pins. This is just some standard stain that you get from the store. It's a walnut stain. I just soak it, pull it out, wipe it clean. It looks pretty good. Then I'll apply some Renaissance wax. And there it is. It looks pretty cool to me. This is one of my better knives for sure. It's definitely going in my collection. I got it all polished up to 600 grit. That includes the blade and the handle. And sharpened to 1000 grit. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and you all have a great one.